Hello, everyone. So, this is the last video in the entire set of the Super Speakers Debate Championship orientation videos. In the first three videos, I talked about what it is to debate and why it is important. I talked about the Frank Anthony. I'm so sorry. I talked about the Frank Anthony Memorial style of debate. Finally, I spoke about the Bombay style of debate. This final video is a video where I'm going to give you certain tips as far as participation in debates is concerned. So, to be honest, the only way to become a better debater is to keep participating, giving yourselves as much exposure as possible, giving yourself experience, and introducing yourselves to different environments where debating takes place, whether informal or formal. Okay. The more we participate, the more we get comfortable with presenting our views, expressing our views. Often we have very good views, but we're very scared of expressing them. All right. As far as formal debating is concerned, few points that are very important to keep in mind are firstly research. Well, if you don't research, if you don't have concrete points to support your side of the topic, you're probably not going to be doing very well as far as debating is concerned. So research well and don't simply research on what your stance is and come up with points for your stance. Try and research on what your opponent will probably say as well. Because if you research on that, then you'll be able to come up with points to cross question your opponent. A debate is not simply about your own speech. It is equally important to understand your opponent's speech and to understand how you can rebut it, how you can argue against it, especially for the rebuttal rounds. Okay, so look from both perspectives. If you actually look from your opponent's perspective, you'll also be able to come up with points to incorporate directly into your speech, which nullify or weaken your opponent's argument. Okay, so research is super duper important, and researching from both perspectives is important. The next point to keep in mind is when your opponent is actually participating, when your particular opponent is speaking up, please pay attention to their speeches. Try and see the shortcomings or weaknesses in the argument, because you will be able to totally exploit these when you go to rebuttal. Debating well is not about only your speech. Once again, it's about being able to weaken your opponent's argument, and this will happen if you pay very close attention to your opponent's speeches. Okay, so that's a third point that I'd like all of you to keep in mind. Fourth point is be assertive, not aggressive. It's not a shouting match. Please be dignified. No need to use abusive language. You'll lose out a debate immediately if we see you being abusive or aggressive. Maintain your calm, dignity, poise, and participate in absolute peace. People should feel like you are clear about what you're speaking about, but you're not losing your cool. Typically, contestants who lose their cool at times end up losing the debate. And don't get intimidated if your co-contestant is loud, if your competitor is loud, or if your competitor seems very experienced. Just hold your own. That's the most important thing. Never get intimidated. And lastly, you need to back yourself and follow things through. If you do this, honestly, there's nothing that can stop you. And I'm sure you'll participate really, really well in the Super Speakers Debating Championship. Before I end, what I'd also like to tell all of you participants is that while you participate and prepare for your debates, make sure you try and watch the others as well. Make sure you watch the rounds in which you might not qualify. I hope you want to win the Super Speakers Debating Championship, but if you do not qualify, just keep watching, because at the end of the day, you learn as much from watching others as you learn from participating yourself. That is the objective of the Super Speakers Debating Championship and all the Super Speakers workshops that we organize at Skillsphere Education. With this, I, Ananj Prasad, have tried to teach you everything with respect to the whole concept of debating. At Skillsphere Education, we are very, very proud of the processes that we follow for furthering 21st century skills. And I hope you enjoy the process of participating in the Super Speakers Debating Championship. Focus on being the best versions of yourselves. And with that, here's Ananj Prasad, founder and MD Skillsphere Education and a lifelong learner, signing off. Take care and all the best.